So sorry, guys. I accidentally ended my live, but you know what? Hold on. I'm finding like a really cozy spot. I'm setting up my phone right here. And then obviously we need to have flowers in the background. Hold on. Where am I gonna put these? Can you see them up here? All right, let's see. Nice and comfy. Yeah, I accidentally ended my old one. I don't know what happened. I think I just misclicked it. Sorry. All right, let's keep going. All right, so Mel Robbins. Every morning I woke up, the anxiety was coursing through my veins, and I thought, is this really what it's going to look like for the rest of my life? But you want to know the funny thing about being stuck? I knew exactly what I needed to do. Get up, tackle the dreaded pile of bills, get the kids ready for school, make myself go on walks, reach out to my friends for support, make a budget, find a job, and yet I couldn't seem to do any of it. I feel like there's been a lot of people who talk about struggling, and like everyone who struggles, obviously they don't like have the same outcome, but they go through like very similar things. And I actually forgot what I was gonna say. All right, let's keep going. I like don't really like my setup right now. It's bothering me. Hold on. It's because it's too light behind me. What if I move this? I like this a little better. All right, if I don't have a plan, I can have weeks when I don't do shit, and then for a day I do 1,000 things at once. Yeah. I don't think that's bad. You know, I think that one day when you do 1,000 things at once, it actually like resets you. It's like a big reset, even if you don't feel like it. Actually, you do feel like it. Like every time we because like you know it's like once you like start doing something you get on a roll. Like the reason people like can't do anything is because they don't do anything. You know, there's something that's called like one of my favorite podcasters says like inaction creates inaction and action creates action. Like literally if you just get up and like walk around your house, pick one thing off the floor, that's it. Like you're on a roll. You're gonna start doing the dishes, you're gonna start doing the laundry, and then you're gonna start cleaning, and then maybe you'll be like, hey, you know what, let me go do my returns, and like, you know, you'll be on a roll. But hi bro, okay, chill. Hi. I don't know if I remember you. I'm sorry. All right, let's keep going. Now she's gonna talk about how she changed her life. I'll never forget the morning when everything changed for me. The alarm went off, and there I was, lying in bed, completely overwhelmed by our problems. Like so many of us, I was paralyzed by my own thoughts, and the last thing I wanted to do was get up and face another day. What's up, Nath? But then, something strange happened. A thought popped into my head that would ultimately change my life. It was so simple, almost silly. I remembered watching a rocket launch and the way NASA counted down to blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I thought, what if I just counted backward like that and launched myself out of bed? Momentum. Yep, exactly. Right now we're reading the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. It's self-help. Aren't they all about the same thing? I feel like it's all the same topic. Right now we're still like in the first few pages, so she's talking about her life. It seemed ridiculous, but I was desperate, so I gave it a shot. I counted backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I got out of bed. Just like that. I didn't think about how tired I was or how much I didn't want to face my problems. I simply moved before my brain had the chance to talk me out of it. This is a really big one. I'm going to say it again. I simply moved before my brain had the chance to talk me out of it. Guys, if we think about it, like everything that I've wanted to do that I didn't do was because my brain talked me out of it. Yeah, the countdown thing is also something I've talked about in one of my videos. Like right now I'm thinking, like when you first have a thought, how do you know? Is that your gut instinct? Like what's your gut feeling, you know? And like what's your brain actually rationalizing it? Like what's fear and what's a gut feeling? How do you know the difference? Interesting. All right. Once you start the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, there's no turning back. At that point in my life, I was so used to letting my thoughts paralyze me and fear and stress consume me that the concept felt completely foreign. I remember what a revelation it was when I thought to myself, wait a minute, I can feel horrible and still do what I need to do? Yes, Mel, you can, and it worked. Wait, I'm kind of like a really good storyteller. Hold on. Hi, Maria. In those 5 seconds, I had interrupted the cycle of overthinking. It felt like a small victory, but it was also a revelation. If I thought push through those 5 seconds of fear, maybe I could push through anything. Yeah. Honestly, when you read to yourself like silently, you don't stumble. When you read out loud, you do, which is normal. I remember when I was in school and the teachers would pick on me, I would get so anxious. My palms would start sweating and because I would stumble so much. Let me take a sip of water, guys. I'm actually talking a lot. Hold on. Yeah, like if you guys were in front of me right now, I would probably be stumbling, but because it feels like I'm like alone just reading this, I'm chilling. All right. So I began counting backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, anytime there was something I needed to do, but I didn't feel motivated to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up when the alarm rings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up the phone and start networking to find a job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, open the bills that have been piling up for months. By the way, guys, you should listen to her podcast. It's called The Mel Robbins Show, I think. I'm drinking water. Hi, Michael. We are reading the Let Them Theory. Can someone type it in the chat so I can pin it, please? All right. I started calling this countdown the technique, the 5-second rule. It's so simple. The moment you have an instinct to act, you have to physically move within seconds, or your brain will talk you out of it. My dogs are here. Just start counting backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Take action before hesitation kicks in. Here's why it works. Counting backward requires focus and snaps you out of autopilot, giving you just enough of a push to get going. It helps you power through fear, doubt, or procrastination. Every time you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it is like tipping the first domino. Momentum kicks in, and you are no longer thinking about what you need to do. You are already doing it. Hi guys. Sorry, I didn't realize my vision was bad until I'm like trying to read the comments from this far away. Yeah. 1 5-second move at a time, I forced myself to put one foot in front of the other and slowly step back into my life. I won't lie to you, it wasn't easy. The next couple of years were among the hardest of my life. It's not easy to claw your way out of debt or face the painful issues in your marriage. It's not easy to quiet the anxiety or push through the self-doubt. It's hard to update your resume and look for a job when you question the value you bring. It's a grind to force yourself to get back in shape and create healthier habits after you've let yourself go. And it's definitely not glamorous to work all day, then come home, take care of 3 kids, spend a few minutes with my husband, and then stay up late every night trying to figure out ways I can make more money. But that's what I did. The 5-second rule taught me that action is the answer. Thinking about your problems will never solve them. Waiting around to feel like doing something means you'll never do it. It taught me that no one is coming to save you. You must save yourself from yourself. You have to force yourself to make little moves forward all day, every day, especially when you don't feel like it. I feel like I've been reading long enough. We need to talk about this. What for, Christy? Guys, is my voice cracking from how much I'm talking? Let's go make coffee. It's 10:30 a.m. I don't know why. I'm a poem writing a poem in your heart. That's crazy. Guys, I think I'm gonna make this a thing, like reading a self-help book and talking about it. This is fun. This is good. You know, this feels like me. You know, sometimes I go on live and I talk about like, I don't know, sometimes there's a bunch of weird people in here and all I do is like try to ignore them. And it just makes me feel like, what am I doing on this platform? You know, like that's not what I'm here to do. Like that's not like, that doesn't align with my goals. And like, you know, like I've talked about this a lot, but like I'm on social media because like I want to because I want to like, you know, make a change. I want to be a good influence. I want to like inspire people. And so sometimes it feels like I'm like not doing what I wanted to do, you know? And it's like, I don't mind not getting any views or followers or anything if I'm like genuinely doing like what I want to be doing. Wait, let me catch up on the comments. That gives every self-help book. Yeah. Honestly, everyone who's ever written a self-help book has gone through the same thing. It's like something like very challenging that they went through. And then, you know, they like were in the deep end, or what do they call it? They were in the rock bottom. And then somehow they dug themselves out to the top and then they started making millions and then they wrote a book. My exams are over. My grades were bad, but it's over. So I like shit handed to me straight. Yeah. You watched my premiere? Thank you so much. Did you guys enjoy it? Hi, Christina. Hold on, guys. Let me put water in this. Wait, I'm actually like so happy right now because I'm actually like I feel like I cracked the code. Christina, why you mad, hun? I've read a fair share of self-help books. Yeah, honestly, like, I'm someone who loves podcasts. Why is it making that sound? I'm someone who loves podcasts, but reading self-help books is just so hard for me. Wait, why is my coffee machine being so loud? Guys, I ran out of my contacts and I have to go get an appointment. Christina, why are you having a bad day? My new obsession is glass straws. I hate metal straws. They just disgust me because I feel like flavor gets stuck in it. And it just like, you know, there's also like a metal taste. It's disgusting. Like, I actually hate metal straws so much. And then I don't like plastic straws. Not plastic straws. I don't like paper straws, you know, for obvious reasons, because coffee shops are so funny when they give me a paper straw. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It literally ruins the coffee taste. I don't know what we're talking about in the chat. And then paper straws, you know, I like them, but like, we have to be good. Yeah, honestly, like, I remember whenever I was like, you know, I was in my early teens and I was so obsessed with like, you know, having a flat stomach and all of that. I would watch videos. And I remember something that really stuck to me was like, you make your stomach bigger when you drink from straws, because like on the first sip you're inhaling air and you're swallowing the air, which is making your stomach bigger. And then for a while I just stopped using straws because, like, you know, like, I don't want to make my stomach bigger by inhaling air. Honestly, I wish I could find the person that I like saw this. I know, because it's like they ruined like a good year of me using straws, because every time I would use a straw, I would like think about that and I would feel guilty. My coffee is really good today. Yeah. No, honestly, metal straws have been a life changer. I mean, not metal, glass straws. I'm surprised that they haven't like broken. I thought they would be very easy to break, but I've had them for like 6 months and they haven't broken yet. Hold on, guys. I'm a little chilly. Let me put a jacket on. All right. My phone's at 20%. It's so stupid if you don't use a straw and you're still drinking because of the... Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. It's kind of funny. All right, Embry has an announcement. It better be good, Embry. Everybody's waiting. You're moving? There's a twist. What's the climate here? Oh, it's in New York? That's so exciting. Wait, you're gonna be so close to me. Wait, you're moving from UAE to New York? That's a huge change. That's really exciting, but wait, I'm a firm believer in like if someone moves like drastically from culture to culture when they're young, they're, I don't want to say better people, they're just like, you don't realize how much you're being exposed to until you actually grow up. Like I lived in Lebanon for the first 13 years. And then I moved to the US and I was like, yeah, so exciting, you know, like US, American dream and all of that. And then now I'm realizing like how, like, you know, I just like have like so much more perspective than people in Lebanon. Not saying like I'm better, smarter, or anything, but like, you know, obviously like I see things in a different way than they do because I've just been exposed to a wider things. I would love to visit you. Actually, no. That's really creepy. You're like 13 and I'm almost 21. Forget I said that. How is she gonna drop that bomb and say I gotta go bye? Why do I think I have a different perspective? Well, maybe it's because I'm from like Lebanon and I feel like, you know, in Lebanon it's not like the US. You don't have diversity. Everyone around you is Lebanese or like maybe Syrian, you know? Okay, see you later, Embry. Thanks for stopping by and we'll talk more when next week. Um yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Some Lebanese are Muslim. I'm Catholic. A lot of people think that all Arabs are Muslim, but they're not. Yeah, books will definitely give you. I feel like there's a lot of things that what's the saying, go into play, or there's a lot of things that play into. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, obviously like moving is a big one. That's why I was bringing it up. But like also like books, you know, like people don't like. I remember when I was like younger, I would like the teachers would make me read books about like Auschwitz, and like I had never learned about that in Lebanon. Like I don't know why it just wasn't something we would talk about. And so I remember I was like, oh, what? I'm in Bulgaria and I most likely have different views than you. Yeah, for sure. And that's why like it's so fun to like talk to you guys on here because I have people from like the Middle East. I have people like a lot of people from India and from Bangladesh. I have Kayla is from South Africa. So, yeah, it's really nice to like, yeah, and Michael is from South Africa too. Tessa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My exams are over, yes. Um, I think I prefer country. I'm a I'm a very quiet person at heart. I don't like noise. I like just I value my peace a lot, like my Zen life. But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy a little bit of city. I feel like everybody needs a good balance. Like you can't be this or that. And that's why like there's so much hate in this world is because a lot of people are I'm either here or I'm here. And I think that it's like dividing us because nothing is black and white. And people have to stop thinking that everything is black and white, because all it's doing is like turning us against each other. Whoa, 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 whoa. You guys hear me? You guys hear me? Give me a position in the White House. Where is all this wisdom coming from? All right, I'm going off. I'm going off. Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it. I just don't want to make you talk about it. What did Chirag say? You got into college? Congrats! Oh my god, I remember when I found out I got into my dream school. I should write a book. Yeah, I know. Earn $1 million first? Yeah. Guys, there's so much we can accomplish in this life. Like, I feel like a lot of us are like putting a wall in front of us and like telling ourselves that this is how much I'm meant to accomplish. But like, sometimes you just need to pick up that hammer and like break down that wall, and like, because there's so much more. There's so much more to life. And I think that's why I overwhelm myself. It's because I know how much I have to offer. And like every path I look into, it's like I'm not like fully, what's the word? I'm not fully like, I'm limiting myself, you know? Any football fans I want to yap about? Yap, you can yap. Nath, you can yap. Maria, honestly, because you asked and because I don't know, you were giving good vibes. Like it's kind of hard for me to like pick up the vibes from like the chat, you know? Like I don't know if like, cuz I don't know anything about you guys, but I don't know, you know, you're a little Syrian girl and I just connected to you. I think I've been putting walls in front of me, looking at my insecurities and kind of making them seem bigger than they are when I have unique features. Yeah, so are you talking about like physically? I gotta learn to take one day at a time. Yeah, me too, honestly. I look too much in the future. And I think I need to be more in the present. Mentally, yeah. We all go through that. But honestly, think about it as a phase. Like, if you think about it, you're probably gonna feel like this in different stages of your life. You know? Like, there's probably something in your life that's triggering you feeling like this. Could be a job, could be a relationship, you know? Or honestly, probably social media. Social media has, like, I know they say that it's like bad for you, but like to me, in my case, I've always been like someone who's like happy in her own skin and confident. And I've always been like, yeah, social media won't get to me. And in my case, it was like more like in my relationships, like subconscious. Like I had a lot of trouble in my relationships because like I always kept seeing these like beautiful women who were like, if he won't be perfect, somebody else will. You know, and then I set like those like really unrealistic expectations in my relationships that were like bound to fail. You know, it's like it was really unfair for me to set those relationship like boundaries or expectations or standards, whatever. Everyone in life has a different experiences and a unique skill. Exactly. About to about to start the gambling and drinking phase. This is a crazy way to get attention, I'm not gonna lie. Go for it. You know, you should record it on YouTube. At least like get some money out of it. I think wait, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think most of us in our 20s think more about the future than and we feel like we have too much to offer so we get overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly. But also like I feel like there's a lot of people in their 20s who don't worry about that. And in my head, I'm like, is it good? I mean, I guess it's good that I'm worrying about it because I know that, like, I have a lot to offer. But, like, I guess you have to have a good balance. You know, you can't let it eat you alive because I noticed myself at one point because I was so worried about, like, not doing what I was meant to do in life. I was not doing anything because I was scared of doing the wrong thing. So I was actually doing less. So you have to be careful not to, like, fall into that trap. Um, I'm being a bit closed off as a person and do not want to deal with people's flaws when I have my own. Yeah. And again, that's another thing that's like kind of an era. I went through my era where I just like didn't really have any friends. Like I pushed everyone out, you know? Beat cancer twice, lost his father, went to Napoli, earned a spot in inner. Never give up. Never give up, never what? Wait, never back down, never what? Wait, no, that's not how it goes. Yeah, it is. Never back down, never what? Never give up. Never back down, never what? Um, People need to take things at their own pace. A lot of people say things. Yeah. Have you seen that? There's like a video that was going viral that was like, I forget her name, but the woman that wrote Harry Potter, she started at 41, you know, and before that, I think she was like homeless or some shit. And then, you know, one of the guys, like Facebook or Google, one of those guys, you know, I get them mixed up all the time. They, you know, one of them like started in his garage and he had like nothing. And it's a really nice video that like, it's like, I don't know, I'm a firm believer that we have everything already like planned out for us. Like, I feel like my life, never give up, you guys are funny. Like, I feel like my life, it's because I'm Catholic and I believe in God. If you believe in the universe, honestly, I feel like it all kind of like works the same way. Like, if you believe in the universe, you can still like agree with what I'm saying. It's just a different person that controls it, you know? Guys, my mind is racing right now. I have so many thoughts that I want to say out loud that like my mouth doesn't have time to like say them. Oh, but I was saying I believe in like I think that's what fate is, that like my life is already like planned out, like how many kids I'm gonna have. It's already been decided by the universe. There might be things I do or things I try to prevent or things I do to try to get more kids, but like that, and like I feel like my husband is like another thing that's like the universe already picked it out for me. And like I might break up with 100 people and get back with that person, or I might marry someone and then divorce them and then 30 years later marry that other person. You know, that's why that like kind of helps me, like it helps me like soothe my anxiety because it just like it gives me a little bit of comfort that not everything is up to me, and God, you know, he's got his own plan for me. He's got it handled. You can't become successful at 20 when you can become famous at 50 as well, at 80 as well. Bro, what did Nath write in Arabic? Bro, my Arabic reading has been so bad. I haven't read Arabic in years. Yeah, Kayla. I know. I don't know. There's a lot to think about. That's why sometimes it's better to just not think about anything. What is going on here? Honestly, this is my favorite conversation to have ever. Just like everything that's bigger than you know? In Islam, it's the same. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of similar things with Islam. All right, guys. I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna make breakfast. And then when I'm done with breakfast, I'm gonna end the live. And I'm gonna eat it while watching Netflix. But my breakfast kind of takes a long time to make. Which book are you reading? I started reading The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I read a little bit when I was on live, and I'm gonna do that again tomorrow. But tomorrow I can't go live in the morning because I have work, so I'm gonna go live in the afternoon. You guys want to know something funny? For a while, I was like, you know what? I actually can't start social media because I don't have, like, I don't know why the kitchen is the thing that, like, helped me back the most. But, like, you know how, like, those, like, fitness influencers, how they have, like, the gorgeous white kitchen that doesn't have a single thing on it and they never have dishes? I was like, wait, I live with my mom and I have, like, a kitchen that's, like, small and it's not aesthetic, so I can't start doing like YouTube. I'm glad I didn't let that stop me. What's happening in the chat? I know I have an amazing house. I mean, thank you. I was just like, you know, like that's when I was like super like chronically on Instagram Reels, and I just kept seeing like those gorgeous kitchen. Gnath, what are you doing, Gnath? Hi, Susie. Guys, my cousin is in the chat. The dogs are here. Gnath, if you want to talk about it, you can text me on Instagram, okay? Yep. All of you guys in the chat are the luckiest people alive, because you know what? We all have a roof over our head. We all have food to eat. We all have we all have our health. Or as far as I know, I really hope all of you guys are healthy. Hi Fado. Hi Susie. Maria, he doesn't want to talk about it. You know, sometimes, I learned this the hard way, but sometimes when you push people, obviously from a good place and you want to help them, and like you only want the best for them, but sometimes people aren't ready to talk about it. It actually pushes them away even more. And I learned that the hard way because, you know, sometimes like I just want to help people. Like I know what someone is struggling with and I know exactly how to help them. I know exactly how they can solve the problem. But a lot of the times, like they're just not ready to hear it. Or like when my friend comes to me for advice, sometimes she just wants to vent. She doesn't want advice. you know? And so when you tell someone advice they're not ready to hear, it pushes them away. I know, Maria, but I'm just saying, he just doesn't want to talk about it, you know? All right. I'm making eggs and bacon, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I don't know why I felt like guilty making bacon. Because I know, like, you know, I have a few Muslim people in the chat. I don't want to, like, offend you. And also, like, I don't know, sometimes I feel really guilty when I eat bacon. Because, like, I see those videos on Instagram, and I'm like, fuck, I'm part of the problem. Oh, I shouldn't stand this close to the... Yes, I am done with the semester. Just like me in general, sometimes it just makes me, I don't know, it just makes me sad that, like, sometimes, actually, I feel like most of the time it's not done in an ethical way. And I just don't want, like, any animal to suffer because of me. And then here I am, fucking eating bacon. So what I do with the bacon is I put it on a plate, and then I put a napkin under and on top, and I microwave it for 2 minutes so that I get, like, most of the oil out of it. And then I put it on the pan, and then I gotta, like, dab it. I'll show you when I do it, because, like, the amount of, like, fat that's in here is crazy. I'm making breakfast. Chef Christy, cooking with Christy, cooking with Christy. Life is a simulation. I feel the same way. You know what? I always feel like life is a simulation when I look at the sky. Because I'm like, wait, there's no way. I feel like I'm literally, like, trapped in. I don't know. The sky kind of freaks me out sometimes because I realize how actually big it is. You know? Ugh, I don't like it. It makes me anxious. Protagonist. Don't be an antagonist. You ever feel like sometimes, like, a shadow looks unnatural? Oh yeah, always. I feel like we all have, like, those paranoid, like, paranoid moments, you know? Greetings from Wisconsin. How's Wisconsin? I love your... I was gonna say I love your life too. It's giving... It's giving... It's giving when the server gives you your food and they say enjoy your food and you say you too. But the server is probably having something to eat. Fun fact. I'll be serving my people, and then when I give them the food, I go and I have a bite, and then I go back to check on them, and I go and I have another bite. Like, look, guys, this is an example of how much oil, like, how much, just, like, you know, like, nobody needs to consume this. Like, I hate to be, like, an almond mom, but, you know, it's, like, these little things that make a big difference in your diet. because then I use this leftover oil to make my eggs, and it gives them like this good taste. Just eggs. Hi, Rose. Love your kitchen. Thanks. It's actually, so half the year we have our grandparents come live with us. So it's me, my mom, sometimes my sisters, sometimes my dad, and then my grandparents, 6 people. And this kitchen is like the fridge is right in front of the dishwasher. Not dishwasher, like washing dishes. In front of the sink. So, you know, like 2 people don't fit next to each other. And then, of course, whenever everyone's at home, everybody wants to make food at the same time. So it's actually like so annoying. It's insane. No, Gnath, you can talk about it. Love you too, protagonist. Wait, what's your name? Ow! Guys, who gave me evil eye? Ow. Man, that hurt really bad. Yeah, I'm good. Sonu? That's a cute name. That's a cute name. I'm so sorry if I'm making you guys hungry. You should make a little snack. Wait, the fire is too strong. And then I add Mexican cheese. It's my favorite cheese. If you guys watched my running video, you know. My mom has she just lets all things easily without getting away from. Oh, I know. Moms are crazy. I remember when I first started like cooking, I would see my mom like just pick things off from the pan with her hand, with her fingers. And I would be like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? You know? I cooked my eggs too long. They're hard. Yeah, all moms. Deleted, dated. Okay, Gnath, you have no idea what you're talking about. We've been friends. We were friends for 7 years. Yep. Well, that's the wrong story, but thanks for giving your opinion, your story on it. I know, moms are really superheroes. It kind of makes me like emotional. I was gonna say sad, but I guess it's not sad. I mean, it's just sad when like they don't get help, and like it makes me feel guilty because looking back, like I don't help my mom enough. Hi, Fairuz. Can I give a kitchen tour? Yeah, why not? All right, so you go in from here. This is me and my sister graduating high school, and this is her graduating university. I still have 1 year. And then you come here, we have the pantry. And then, oh, I guess I should have like cleaned up a little bit. We have the oven, half a donut, message from my mom, fridge, and then dishwasher, sink, 2-week-old flowers. Yep, that's it. That's it. Very American kitchen. I do speak French. Yummy. Boom, straight in the dishwasher. I always like double check that the thingy is off. It makes me nervous. Aw, I appreciate you so much, Fairuz. Oh my gosh! I didn't know you were a boy protagonist. Wait, how do you speak French? I didn't know Indians spoke French. And I might have just sounded very, what's the word? You know, sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And that was one of those moments. Well, Gnath, you went through it, which means that next time you know how to handle it better. So it's a good thing. Next time they ask you to do that, say, actually, can you pick someone else? Or say, no, I'm not comfortable. I know it's easier said than done. It's kind of like sucky to be in those situations, but yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. All right, guys, I'm gonna eat breakfast and watch Netflix. This was a really lovely live. Thank you so much for like being active in the chat. I really love talking to you guys, and I love that we had like enlightening conversations. My name is Christy. Oh, sorry, that might have sounded weird, but I was replying to someone asked me what my name was. Enchantée. Have a good day. Love you guys.